Retro.
Yeah.
Electro. Tech.
Oh yeah.
Hey, turn the lights back on. Wow. Retro Electro Tech. When real audio ruled the world.
Well, hello there. This is Retro Ernest of Retro Electro Tech. What you're looking at here is the Onkyo P as in Papa 304 stereo preamplifier. I just got through doing a cursory, a preliminary evaluation, call it what you will, of the Onkyo M504 main amplifier. I'm going to go through and inspect things, and even though there's other things in life I'd rather be doing, but sitting down and just setting aside the time to, like I said, divide the area up into quadrants and take a section and inspect it and work through until I'm satisfied that, you know, I've covered everything pretty good. And even then, I'll sometimes go back when I'm doing miscellaneous work and continue and inspect a little more and make sure I didn't overlook anything. So I'm not going to go into any more detail beyond that. I explain oftentimes, and even in the last video on the main amp, I think I talked more on, you know, the whole situation of what it is that I look for when I'm inspecting, and I talk about that with a lot of videos, and every once in a while I'll probably continue that trend, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it with the rest of this here. So I'm going to do that, but also the main thing that's going to differ here with this preamp versus the main amp as far as servicing is, obviously I have all these controls, switches, okay? So I'm going to have to get in here, or recommend to the customer at least, that I perform a multi-flush cleaning, some servicing of these controls prophylactically. It would be a good idea, just as a precaution, you know, just head it off at the pass. I mean, even if the controls are working okay, it's a good idea at this point to go in and really do a thorough job in servicing them, and they should be fine for another several years, depending on, you know, how the unit is used, stored, and how much wear and tear on the controls and all that stuff. So, but to go through and do a multi-flush cleaning is good. Then after I do a multi-flush cleaning and exercise everything, reintroduce the appropriate lubricant. Appropriate lubricant meaning the right lubricant for the job, something that's beneficial for the control, that's going to, you know, not end up harming the control. Okay, that goes without saying. So the controls, you know, of course, you know, like I said, I'm going through checking out the inside thoroughly. I'm going to do the same with the controls, service them if the customer wants me to move forward with that. And, you know, of course, my other recommendation otherwise is the recapping of the power supply and check components and tolerances and all that. Make sure we have a good, healthy power supply. Okay, that's a heartbeat is good. We have a good heartbeat. Okay, and here's a closer look of the top side. Here's those linkage bars extending from the controls across the top to the switchboard there in the back. So I'm going to have to pull or lift the board out. I need to also, of course, get all this face panel, instrument panel off so I could gain access to the other controls, and yeah, so you know, to be expected. Here's our main power supply section. Okay, so I'd recommend we refurbish the main power supply section of this unit to, you know, make sure that everything is healthy and more reliable than it would be otherwise. So that's that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this thing propped up a little bit, spin it around, and take a look at the back circuit boards before I go ahead and power it up. Okay, had to get that out of my system. Otherwise, I'm going through and making sure that everything looks okay on the back of these boards. So as expected. Everything actually looks pretty good, other than some solder joints that definitely need some reflowing, which again is typical. It's something I always do. And I will point out to you a few examples of what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm just holding a magnifier in place, and that's about the best I could do right now. And some of these solder joints, if you were to take a close look and kind of pan around, you can see on some there's some like cracks and circles on the body of the solder joint. There's some pretty rough pitted solder joints. Not all of them look healthy. Some of them look just fine though. And you can see that screwed up solder joint in there. It's actually missing solder on the through hole there. So anyways, there's stuff like that throughout, okay? It's pretty typical stuff, okay, when you go into this old equipment. This isn't too horribly bad. When you add up the, vast population of solder joints, you're going to find that there's way more good solder joints than there are bad solder joints, which is good, of course. And otherwise, I put my stuff back. So otherwise, that's really about it. So I've gone over what my priorities are as far as going in and what needs to be taken care of. Like I said, connectors, solder joints, going through doing an inspection, refurb the power supply if the owner wants that done, service all of the controls if the owner wants that done. And I think that alone right there is going to really really benefit this unit as far as, bolstering up solder joints and connections and controls and power supply. And that's a darn good step in the right direction. So let me go ahead and get it powered up now. Okay, and of course it's all powered on and looking good. So you can see over here we have signal in, signal out. Same thing as always. So like I said, I knew this was a working unit, or at least based on what I was told. So sure enough, everything is looking good as expected, and I'm going to go ahead and get with the customer now, and off camera of course I will do more. I'm going to check the other inputs and make sure everything is working as it should, all the various functions, but I'll do that off camera. If anything comes up, I'll pipe in on it, but otherwise, yeah, it's time for me to get with the customer and see if I'm going to be moving forward with the work that I am recommending. Okay, so anyways guys, I'm going to end it here. As I always say, peace, love, music, and the vintage audio that brings it to your ears. Till next time, y'all take care.
This is a poor man's shoe production.